Good morning, my dear students. Kailash Chandra Panda welcomes you to his English environment. My dears, in our last episode, we discussed the second unit of the story, A Tiger in the House. In this blog, we are going to discuss the third or the last unit of the story. So, without delay, let's go through the first 4 paragraphs of the unit. About 6 months later, when my grandparents were visiting relatives in Lucknow, grandfather took the opportunity of calling at the zoo to see how Timothy was getting on. I was not there to accompany him, but I heard all about it when he returned to Dehra. Arriving at the zoo, grandfather made straight for the particular cage in which Timothy had been locked up. The tiger was there, crouched in a corner, full grown and with a magnificent striped coat. "Hello, Timothy," said grandfather, and climbing the railing with ease, he put his arm through the bars of the cage. The tiger approached the bars and allowed grandfather to put both hands around his head. Grandfather stroked the tiger's forehead and ticked his ear, and whenever he growled, smacked him across the mouth, which was his old way of keeping him quiet. Observing Timothy's villainous intention and attacking activities, grandfather left him in the zoo at Lucknow, where the zoo authorities received him gladly. Day after day, month after month, 6 months passed. After 6 months, writer's grandfather and grandmother visited a relative's house in Lucknow. During the visit, he wanted to take the opportunity of visiting the zoo to see how Timothy was getting on. The writer was not with them. When they returned home, grandfather explained his experience in the zoo to the writer. Grandfather was so eager to see Timothy that, getting in the zoo, he went straight to the cage in which Timothy had been locked up. Timothy was crouching in the corner of the cage. He looked magnificent with his striped coat. He was then a full-grown tiger. Grandfather climbed the railing of the cage and called Timothy to him by stretching his hands towards him. The tiger came to him slowly and allowed grandfather to hold his head with both of his hands. Grandfather stroked the tiger's forehead and kicked his ears. The tiger started growling, so grandfather smacked him across his mouth to make him silent, which was his old way. Now students, let's see the next 5 paragraphs. He licked grandfather's hands and only sprang away when a leopard in the next cage snarled at him. Grandfather shooed the leopard away, and the tiger returned to lick his hands. But every now and then the leopard would rush at the bars, and the tiger would sink back to his corner. A number of people had gathered to watch the reunion when a keeper pushed his way through the crowd and asked grandfather what he was doing. "I am talking to Timothy," said grandfather. "Were not you here when I gave him to the zoo 6 months ago?" "I have not been here very long," said the surprised keeper. "Please continue your conversation." "But I have never been able to touch him myself. He is always very bad-tempered." "Why do not you put him somewhere else?" suggested grandfather. "That leopard keeps frightening him. I will go and see the superintendent about it." The tiger also showed his love to grandfather by licking his hands. But grandfather marked there was a leopard in the nest cage. It was snarling the tiger far and again and tried to attack him. Being afraid of the tiger, went to the corner of the cage. Once or twice, the grandfather also tried to drive him away by swing voice. A number of people gathered near the cage to see the activities of the tiger and the grandfather. Just at that time, a zookeeper asked grandfather what was he doing. Grandfather answered he was talking with Timothy. 6 months before, he had handed over this Timothy to the zoo authority. The keeper had nothing to say. He allowed him to talk with the tiger. But grandfather requested him to change the cage of the leopard. He went to the zoo superintendent to complain about the leopard. Now students, let's see the last part of the unit. Grandfather went in search of the superintendent of the zoo but found that he had gone home early. And so, after wandering about the zoo for a little while, he returned to Timothy's cage to say goodbye. It was beginning to get dark. He had been stroking and slapping Timothy for about 5 minutes when he found another keeper observing him with some alarm. Grandfather recognized him as the keeper who had been there when Timothy had first come to the zoo. "You remember me?" said grandfather. "Now why do not you transfer Timothy to another cage, away from this stupid leopard?" "But sir," stammered the keeper, "it is not your tiger." I know, said the grandfather testily. "I realized he is no longer mine. But you might at least take a suggestion or two from me." "I remember your tiger very well," said the keeper. "He died 2 months ago." "Died?" exclaimed grandfather. "Yes, sir, of pneumonia. The tiger was trapped in the hills only last month, and it is very dangerous." Grandfather could think of nothing to say. The tiger was still licking his arm with increasing relish. Grandfather took what seemed to him an age to withdraw his hand from the cage. With his face near the tiger's, he mumbled, "Good night, Timothy," and giving the keeper a scornful look, walked briskly out of the zoo. Grandfather could not meet the superintendent as he had gone home early. So after having a round in the zoo, again grandfather came to the cage of Timothy to say him goodbye in the evening. After he played with the tiger for 5 minutes, he saw another keeper was looking him with fearful eyes. He had known that keeper because when he had handed over Timothy to the zoo authorities, the keeper was at the zoo. He recognized the keeper and requested him to transfer Timothy to another cage. But in a stammering voice, the keeper told that the tiger in the cage was not his tiger. Grandfather got angry and told that he had not come to the zoo to take back Timothy, but the keeper should take one or two of his suggestions. Now the keeper told him that Timothy had died 2 months before, and the tiger in the cage had been trapped in the hill for a month before, and it was very dangerous. The tiger was still licking the hand of grandfather. He got afraid and very carefully he took his hand out of the cage. Having an angry look to the keeper, he came out of the zoo speedily, saying Timothy good night. Now let's discuss some short answer type questions and their answers. When did grandfather go to Lucknow again? Answer: after 6 months. Why did grandfather want to visit the Jew after 6 months? To see how Timothy was getting on. What did grandfather do after arriving at the Jew? Went straight to the cage in which Timothy had been locked up. How did grandfather play with Timothy? By stroking his forehead and tickling his ear. What did grandfather do when the tiger growled? Smacked him across the mouth. Who snarled at the tiger far and again? A leopard in the next cage. Who did grandfather go to complain about the leopard? To the Jew superintendent. Why did not grandfather meet the Jew superintendent? He had gone home early. Why did grandfather came to the tiger's cage again in the evening? To say him goodbye. Who reported grandfather that Timothy had died 2 months before? The second keeper. Where had the tiger in the cage been trapped? In the hills. How did Timothy die? Of pneumonia. How did grandfather come out of the Jew? Briskly, giving the keeper a scornful look. So students, in this way we have completed the story A Tiger in the House. I hope you to have understood the topic. Read the story again and again and practice the question and answers. Next time I will come to you with a new topic. Till then, goodbye. I pray God, let you live long, let you be in peace, let you be active with smile on lips. Thank you.